The 30-second board being displayed to the riders here, and they'll be underway in a matter of moments as the board goes sideways. And the 125cc National Championship Series next to last round is underway. A whole gaggle of riders getting out, but the one who gets the whole shot, Ryan Hughes on the Kawasaki. And a little bobble there at the start, but he holds on to the lead.
That's surprising. Hughes isn't the best starter in the 125cc class, but with the small points cushion he has, he's going to need all the advance he can get here at Binghamton.
Well, we also see Mike Brown in the hunt there, Michael Brandis and Mike Craig, and everybody chasing the leader, number 9, Ryan Hughes, out to the good start, and he's building a little bit of a lead here, even this early in the race.
You can see by the track here, Jack Skutnick and his crew at Binghamton have put together a lot of jumps, and over the years this race has gotten really popular with the people in Western New York, and I think they have a record crowd here today. It certainly looks like it.
Mike Brown challenging for the lead there, trying to get his Honda on the inside, loses a spot there to number 53, Michael Brandis, but it is still Ryan Hughes out in front. We're just underway here in Binghamton, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
The AMA 125cc Motocross Series on ESPN2 is being brought to you by Honda, winner and holders of the last 8 consecutive Supercross championships. Honda, come ride with us.
Let's take a look at this week's Suzuki Flashback and go to Binghamton. And 1 year ago for the 125cc National, a huge mass start here and already trouble at the very beginning of the race.
And that was the end of Jeff Emmig's title hopes in this first Moto first turn crash.
Not to be outdone, Doug Henry does a flying face plant.
But Henry got back up, and he and Ryan Hughes, the guys who were basically going for the title at this point, got into one of the best battles of the year, and the Binghamton crowd loved it.
Doug Henry went on to win the race and the title, but that was then, and this is now. Ryan Hughes trying to duplicate Henry's effort here in Binghamton. Let's check in with Art Ekman. He's with Rhino's tuner, Wyatt Seals.
Well, Wyatt, there's one characteristic of Ryan Hughes, and that is that he doesn't mind being out in the lead.
No, that definitely. He rides on the edge a lot, and that's just his character. You know, he got a good start, and I know he's hanging it out, you know, in spots, and some places seems to be kind of cautious. Lamson's on the move for sure. Lamson's got some good lines out there, so I just I got to keep him going, and I hope it pays off.
Well, he mentioned Steve Lamson. Lamson's a ways back, but check out Michael Brandis here challenging in second spot.
You know, Brandis is an amateur rider, or rather I should say a pro-am. Just 2 weeks ago, he was riding down in Tennessee at Loretta Lynn's in the AMA Amateur National Championships, and this has to be the highlight of his pro career, riding this close to Ryan Hughes at this moment.
Well, he isn't really in contact, but he is certainly in second place. There we see the rest of the field coming along behind. Ryan Hughes out in front, and so far it's all Rhino.
You know, one thing to keep an eye on with Hughes is he's getting ready to ride the Motocross of the Nations in Slovakia next week, or rather in 2 weeks, I should say. And the word is that he's been practicing on a 500 out in California. Now, whether that affects his stamina or even his technique on the 125 remains to be seen. So we'll have to see how Ryan does in the rest of the moto here.
Doing a good job of throwing the smaller bike around. There's Brandis closing up some ground here as they head through a little bit of the mud here on the Binghamton course. Two very different lines that time.
Yeah, you know what? The thing about this race that I find really interesting is all three of those guys up front, Hughes, Brandis, and Mike Brown, none of them are on factory bikes, and tells you something about Binghamton. This is a rider's track. You come here, you just get on the pipe, and you got to be careful because there's a lot of jumps, there's a lot of ruts, there's a lot of rocks, and as you can tell, there's a lot at stake here today.
We haven't talked about Mike Brown very much. He's running third. We're watching the two leaders, Ryan Hughes and Michael Brandis, going at it in front of a huge crowd at Binghamton. Well, you were right. They really come out here in force.
Yeah, they've had races here for a long time. I believe that ever since probably the early 1980s, they've had a national here. And every year, this race just gets bigger and bigger. Like I said, they do a good job of giving the people what they want. It's kind of quasi-stadium, but the fans love it.
Ryan Hughes, a little bit of a scare there from Brandis, who moved up around the outside, but Hughes got the better drive off the turn and maintains about a 3 or 4 bike length lead here, and he seems to be riding very comfortably.
We'll have to see what Brandis does. The one thing that Brandis has going for him is he has absolutely nothing to lose. He's trying to get the attention of some teams right now, Rhino, on the other hand, national championship at stake. I know he doesn't want to get into a shoving match with that kid. It could cost him dearly in the points.
Well, it seems like Hughes is riding a lot more within his ability, but Brandis has taken a lot of risks. Sometimes they pay off a little bit and he closes some ground. At other times, like we saw just then, he took a little bit of a chance and it lost him some territory.
Yeah, you know, Ryan's not a factory rider just yet, but he's been around the circuit a lot. He's been in these tracks. He knows how to lead these races. Brandis, on the other hand, he's probably just enjoying every minute of this. So let's just hope it can make a last to finish. We might have another upset here in the 125 National Series.
We get a glimpse of Mike Brown every now and then on his red Honda, but so far it's been these two. And with the hole shot, Ryan Hughes continues to lead. Although Brandis has challenged from time to time, they have stayed just about this far apart. The size of this crowd continues to amaze me.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you notice the track is getting a lot rougher, I think that we've had some good weather in this area the last few weeks, and it's allowed for the riders to really build a lot of lines. Look at all the berms coming out of that corner.
Well, Hughes with the inside line, Brandis on the outside, almost side by side on the jumps. A terrific race between these two guys, and now we understand Mike Brown has faded back, and instead it's his teammate Mike Craig who's running in third spot right now.
Yeah, this is a bad time for Mike Brown to be having problems. The series has only got 4 motos to go. Every point counts.
These two guys still going at it, and Mike Craig is watching a heck of a race from his third spot. There he is, just sneaking into the picture, so we're going to have to keep an eye on him. The number 19 Honda of Mike Craig now definitely in third spot as these two guys go at it. Welcome back, everybody, to Broome Tioga Sports Center in Binghamton, New York. I'm Brian Drebber along with Davey Coombs in the booth. Art Ekman's down at ground zero in the pits, and you're looking at one heck of a 125cc race with Ryan Hughes still out in front, Mike Brandis, and now Mike Craig taking over second spot. Nice move there.
Yeah, I had a feeling this was going to happen. The factory guys and the semi-factory guys are starting to pull up, and they're going to push these privateers out. This is a really, really vital round of the National Series. And I have a feeling that Craig's passing of Brandis is only the beginning for the guys who are going to be coming up behind him.
Mike Craig now firmly in second spot here. Ryan Hughes continues to lead. Let's see if Craig has got anything for the man who has led from the start of this race. And look at here, Damon Huffman makes his first appearance among the leaders.
Huffman on the Suzuki. Looks like he's going to be the next guy to move on Mike Brandis. Huffman was a points leader way early in this year, and yet he never won a race. And that's something that has come back to haunt him at the end of the series. He's 13 points down with 4 motos to go.
Makes the pass for second. Talked about Mike Brown a while ago. Let's see if we can find out what happened to him. Here's Art Ekman.
Well, Jeff, Mike just left here. What was the problem?
I think he got back in the back section. He must have went down in the corner. He bent his clutch perch all the way around where he couldn't clutch it. It came in. We just moved it back up.
Does he need to come in again?
No, he should be all right. Most part for him right now is just to ride conservative and just pick them off one at a time.
All right, there is number 53, Mike Brandis, and sneaking into the picture. I'm sure the local crowd's going to love this. Scott Sheik, he's kind of the favorite around here.
Look at behind those guys. That's Steve Lamson. He is going to be headed right toward the front. You can bet the number 5 Honda will be up there at the end.
And here's Mike Brandis running fourth right now. Ahead of him, of course, passed just a few moments ago was Damon Huffman. Mike Craig second, and out front it's still Ryan Hughes in this first moto. There's a good look at Damon Huffman on the Suzuki. And here's Mike Brandis again.
Brandis is probably having more fun than he's ever had in Pro Motocross National, but I'm telling you, it's not going to last much longer. These boys going for the national championship are coming up through, and they don't take any prisoners at this point in the year.
Steve Lamson on the move here, and he's certainly looking a lot more aggressive. Makes an inside move there on Brandis, knocking him back another spot.
Lamson's going to be charging right up toward the front. You can see he's going all out here. And
whoa! What was that? He jumped right over top of the hay bale there. That's a little bit of a snappy move.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's not illegal, though. As long as there's not a banner there, you can pretty much jump those hay bales. You can see the banner down on the far left, and that is it's a gutsy move for Steve Lamson.
And Brandis goes around it. Here comes Scott Sheik. He goes around the thing. Nice move there. Not sure if it gained much, but it sure was a bold one. Looking once again now at second and third. That is Mike Craig on the Honda, and right behind him, of course, Damon Huffman running third right now. Out front, it's still Ryan Hughes, and he has had a lead that he has not given up and never even been challenged so far.
Yeah, Hughes has got a couple national wins this year so far, and of course, like I said, he won at Unadilla. He likes this kind of track.
That didn't look comfortable.
You can tell how rough the track is getting and see if that affects Huffman at all. When you do something like that on a bike, it really tends to mess up your concentration and your momentum. You may lose a second right there, but later on it might come back and hurt you.
Huffman dropped into a hole right there and kissed the handlebars. And once again, we're looking at Mike Craig running in second spot. Ryan Hughes, pretty much color him gone out in front. Mike Craig working hard, though. We'll see if, and there we just caught a glimpse of the leader, Ryan Hughes, out of sight there. We'll have to see if Mike Craig can close up some ground on the leader, Ryan Hughes. Likewise, Damon Huffman.
And look at Lamson coming down the inside. He's come up from way back. I'm not sure how he started. As you can see, he's got himself up into fourth place right now. I have a feeling that this battle is going to take them up to Mike Craig's back wheel.